All right, we're live. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having an awesome evening. Thank you so much for hopping on. My name is Alexa, for those of you who don't know me. And tonight we're going to be talking about all things 80-day obsession. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. Yeah, I'm really congested, but I don't feel too bad. But if I sound really stuffed up, that is the reason why. But anyways, I'm really excited to chat with you guys. For those who don't know, I am a coach. I've been a coach for 4 years. And over the summer, I was selected to be part of the 80-Day Obsession Original Coach Test Group. So I was in the first batch of about 100 coaches that were selected to basically try out the whole program. So I did it over the summer, and it was awesome. I was really nervous. I was so nervous for this, you guys, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are probably nervous as you're getting ready, getting yourself prepared to start on Monday. But just know that I totally understand where you're at, because I was in the same place. I had never done a program longer than most of the programs I done were about 3 weeks, the 21-day programs. We have a bunch of those. I have completed T25, which is, I think, an 8-week program, but nothing as long as 80-Day Obsession. It's 13 weeks, basically. So, not only that, but, the length of the workouts kind of freaked me out. For those who don't know, the workouts average are about 45 to 60 minutes. And so, again, I was used to working out 30 minutes a day. That was my jam, and I was really nervous about committing to doing longer workouts. I was nervous just to commit to a longer program in general. So for anybody who's feeling that way, just know that I totally get where you're coming from. And just know, though, that it really just comes down to preparation. And gosh, sorry, you guys. Let me grab my water really quick. Hold on. Sorry. Should have done that before I started talking. Here we go. But it really comes down to preparation. I think if you just make sure every single week to sit down and plan out, how your week is going to go, you're going to do fine with this, okay? And as we go through the nutrition plan, you'll see that it's really not too difficult. The great thing about this nutrition plan is that I think it actually helps take out the guesswork, because you don't have to worry about what should I be eating before my workouts, what should I be eating afterwards, how, when should I be eating, how often, whatever. All of that is broken down for you, okay? So let me start by screen sharing really quick, and we're going to go through and just kind of walk through BOD. They don't have the workouts uploaded yet, obviously, but what they're going to do is every week they're going to be uploading the upcoming week's workouts. I think they said by either Saturday or Sunday, sometime over the weekend. The whole week's worth of workouts are going to be uploaded. So if you need to download your workouts, right? Like maybe you need to maybe you work out somewhere you don't have Wi-Fi. You need to download your workouts. You can do that, because all of them will be uploaded into BOD the week before. Okay. But other than that, every week the next week's workouts are going to go up, and then they're going to be up there obviously forever once they go up. So after this, they're going to be available. This whole program will be available from here on out. Okay. Did you find, I'm going to try and answer your guys' questions as we go through. So if you have any questions, go through and type them in the chat box. Did you find that your meal options got repetitive? I'm going to talk a little bit about that, Jenny, about the, kind of helping yourself through the whole program. But honestly, I found that I found meals that I didn't, I was okay with eating over and over. You'll find, one of my favorites that I posted about a lot when I was in the test group was I made butternut squash with the fixate turkey sausage and oatmeal. And I would eat that pretty much every day for breakfast. It was so good. It was really easy, and I didn't have a problem eating it. So, I guess, yeah, that was repetitive, but at the same time, I didn't get tired of it. So I think you just got to kind of play with it. If you're the type of person who is cool with eating the same thing over and over, then go with it. You know what I mean? But if you need to switch it up, then that just means every single week you need to sit down and meal plan. You know what I mean? I think it just depends. I know that some people, are like, I can't do the same thing every single day or every single week. And if that's how you are, then, you know what I mean? Then you just got to make sure that you're, adding in some variety with your meals. I hope that that answers your question. But let me share my screen, and we're going to go into BOD really quick here. I'm going to take some water breaks. Sorry, guys. Okay, so when you go into Beachbody On Demand, you guys will see 80-Day Obsession right here. So obviously the workouts aren't uploaded quite yet, but they'll be right here. Side note, if you haven't watched these Get Started videos, I really recommend it. For my challenge group, my challengers, I've already posted and shared with them to go through and watch these. They're really helpful. The quick start tips, just Autumn gives like just really helpful tips overall to getting, you know, ready this entire week before we start the program. And then she gives some specific eating plan tips. So I definitely recommend watching those because they'll be really helpful. Also, Weekly Obsession. This is really fun. So throughout filming the entire program, they were filming the cast and Autumn behind the scenes throughout the entire filming throughout the 80 days. And so they kind of compiled everything and put it together into these weekly episodes called Weekly Obsession. And I actually already watched the first week's Weekly Obsession. And again, I recommend watching this because they actually, you know, give some good tips and things. It's not just, you know, getting to know the cast and all that, which is fun. But they do like kind of talk about their own personal journeys with it and things that they do. So I recommend watching it because you might get a little tip or something from that that'll be helpful. But just kind of wanted to point that out for you guys. Go through and watch all those because they're there and they're just, you know, bonus resources to help you as you get going with the program. But if you go to program materials, basically everything is uploaded here for you, okay? So again, the starter guide, I recommend going through. I'm not going to go through the starter guide too much because I want to make sure we have time to go through the whole eating plan. But the starter guide just is going to go through and kind of give you some first steps as you get going with the program, okay? So actually one thing I should show you is this right here. So calculating your calorie target. That's going to be the first thing that you're going to need to do because that will determine which eating plan that you're in, okay? So there are kind of two ways you can calculate this, you guys. So you have to decide if you are going to be in weight loss mode or if you're going to be in maintenance, okay? So obviously if you're trying to lose weight, then you'd want to do the weight loss formula. And if you're trying to just maintain and you don't necessarily want to lose weight, maybe you want to tone up, you would do the maintenance formula, okay? But it's pretty simple. You take your weight, you multiply by 11, okay? And that's your calorie baseline. So you put that over here, and then you add 600, and that is going to be your maintenance calories. So if you are doing the maintenance formula, you would stop right there. That's what your calories are that you're going to be going off of. If you're going to be doing the weight loss formula, then you're going to take your maintenance calories and then subtract 750. Okay, does that make sense? Pretty simple. And then that is going to give you your calorie target. Now look over here, you'll see this is for phase 1. They changed the formula for phases 2 and 3. So every phase, you're going to recalculate your calorie target, okay? So I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, like, do I need to constantly be adjusting, you know, what eating plan I'm in? No, you do it at the beginning of each phase, okay? So after phase 2 or after phase 1 is over, then you're going to take your new measurements and your weight and all that, and then you're going to calculate it using this this formula right here. You're going to use this one to find your calorie bracket for phases 2, and then you'll do the same thing for phase 3, okay? Pretty simple. But you need to figure out what your calorie target is, and then this will then help you figure out which eating plan that you're going to need, okay? Just want to go through and show and explain that. I saw some questions in the chat box, so let me see. Can't exit out. Here we go. Hold on. I'm trying to pull the chat box open. Jenny, I'm going to answer your question in a minute. So, how long are you going to be with that? Okay. Jenny said, I find it strange that we're calculating on our calorie baseline by 11. In the fixed eating plan, you only calculate by 11 if you're in a less intense program like PIO. So, Jenny, first off, I'll say you got to just trust the process and trust Autumn. She has, you know, created this program, and all of the formulas and stuff for this have been you know, created this way so that you get results. Okay. So just remember that. But I think that also understand that, yes, so Lauren said this, you're not going to be burning a ton of calories during these workouts because it's not really a lot of cardio. That is literally what I was going to say. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren was talking about this during a little obsessed. She noticed on her heart rate monitor that it wasn't a super high calorie burn. But that does not mean that you're not going to be like getting results from this. Okay. So you'll see, like, I definitely got sweaty in a lot of the workouts and stuff, but some of them you know, especially leg day. I thought that was so weird. Like, I did get super sweaty on leg day, which usually I like want to die on leg day. But I was still definitely like getting results and working hard. I know it's kind of weird, but I don't know. That's my best response to that. But just trust the process for all of this, you guys. Like, everything when it comes to how the containers work, how the time nutrition works, just trust the process and understand that. You know, Autumn has put this together, and it makes you know, it's put this together with some of the best nutritionists. It's calculated to a T to get your results. Okay. Okay, so like I said, I'm not going to go too far into all of this stuff. I kind of want to move in now to the eating plan really quickly. So let's see here. Hold on. Okay, so let's go back up. All right, so now we're going to talk about the eating plan really quickly, guys. Hold on, I'm seeing a few more chats. Just want to make sure that I'm not missing things. Okay, so yeah, if you have any questions, please go through and ask in the chat box, and I'll kind of try and check in there throughout. So let's go through the eating plan. I'm going to go through eating plan C, just because that was the eating plan that I was in when I was doing 80-day obsession, and so it's kind of like the one that I know pretty well. But obviously, all of this kind of pertains to every eating plan. Also know, you guys, that there are vegan-specific eating plans. So if you're a vegan, you're going to want to make sure and download the specific vegan eating plan, okay? So just scroll down. It says vegan eating plan A, B, C, blah, 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 okay? And I share that because, you know, just to make sure you don't get, like, this one eating plan C and then just try to make it vegan, you know what I mean, from the choices. Just make sure you download the right eating plan, okay? But once you figure out your calorie target and everything, you'll figure out your eating plan. And you guys, one of the things that I've always done, like ever since I was a challenger and started my very first challenge group, is I read these nutrition plans front to back, like every single little thing. Okay. So I suggest, if you haven't already, like, and even though I'm going to be going through this after this, if you haven't yet, make sure that you go through and just read this. Okay. Like, read it front to back, make sure that you understand everything. Okay. Just because I think that's going to really help you with your confidence in planning and everything with the program. But as you guys know, this program uses the portion control containers. So I know we have some new challengers on the call that maybe haven't used the containers yet, but this is a really great system to help kind of make eating clean really simple. Each of the containers corresponds with a different food group, and then you'll see that each food group has its own approved list of foods that you can choose. And really all you got to do is fill up your container with foods from the list, and that will count as, you know, one container for your meal plan, okay? And everybody has a different amount of containers depending on which eating plan that they have. So as you can see here, for meal plan C, you're going to have 5 green containers throughout the day. You're going to have 3 purples, 5 reds, 4 yellows, 1 blue, 1 orange, and 5 teaspoons, okay? So how that's split up is shown a little bit. I'll go through and show you that, because you are going to eat specific containers grouped together at specific times, okay? So literally all of the guesswork is taken out. But at the same time, it is customizable. You know what I mean? I had somebody ask me, she said, what was she, you know, she doesn't eat any red meat or chicken or anything like that. Like, can she still do this? And I'm like, yeah, just, you know, go through and pick things from the red container list that you do eat. Eggs, egg whites, you know, she can drink Shakeology, you know, fish, all that kind of stuff. So you can still customize this even though the containers are kind of set for you, if that makes sense, okay? So here, we're going to kind of talk about the time nutrition a little bit. So the most important thing that you need to make sure that you're calculating is the workout block, okay? So this is basically what you're going to be eating before and after your workouts. This is really the most important, because, you know, you need to make sure that you're fueling your body right before your workouts and afterwards, so that you get the best results out of the workouts that you're doing, okay? So you're going to see, you're going to have a pre-workout meal that is about 60 to 90 minutes before you push play, okay? So if you decide that you are going to be push and play on your workout at 8 a.m., then you need to make sure that you're eating by 7:30, 8 o'clock, okay? Or what did I say, 8 a.m.? 6:30, 7 o'clock is what I meant, sorry. Bad math. But so, you know, figure out what time you're going to be working out every day. That's going to really be like the most important and first step, because you're going to be planning your eating and your whole day around when you're working out, okay? So it's going to be the first step. I really recommend working out at the same time every day if you can. I know that not everybody's schedules, you know, allows that. But if you do have the same schedule every day, I recommend working out at the same time every day. It just is really going to help you create a routine over these 80 days. You know what I mean? It's what's going to help you kind of just get into a rhythm with this, so that this doesn't feel like, oh my God, I have, you know, 50 more days to go of this. You know what I mean? It's just going to become part of your lifestyle, part of your day. Sorry, guys. When I was doing the test group, we were doing our workouts. They were live streaming while they were filming all of the 80-day obsession workouts. So they did it every single day at 9:30 a.m. So every day for those first 2 phases I was in the test group, I worked out at 9:30 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Like I did not, I think maybe I worked out, you know, by myself, you know, because they did have the workouts up for us if we couldn't make it live streaming. I think I did that one time, but I worked out, you know, 9:30 every single day, and it really helped me, like I said, get into a routine and get into a system with this, so that it became a lot easier, and it wasn't like I was, you know, doing a program. You know what I mean? It was just my healthy lifestyle. Okay, so figure out when you're working out, and you're going to be eating your first pre-workout meal 60 to 90 minutes before you work out, okay? And this is going to depend on what eating plan that you're doing. So if you're in eating plan C, then your container is going to be a green, a red, a yellow, and a teaspoon, okay? That's going to be different for, you know, meal plans A, B, you know, D, E, F, okay? So just make sure that you look on yours to see what it is. And find, you know, put a meal together that is going to fit into these containers. So like I said, I did butternut squash, which was a green. I did fixate breakfast sausage, which was a red. And then I did oatmeal. And I think I had a teaspoon of peanut butter in my oatmeal. And that's what I had every morning for my pre-workout meal. And it was delicious. And I had that every single day. And then, so along with your pre-workout meal, for those of you who are using Beachbody Performance, which I think the majority of you guys are, which is awesome, you're going to be drinking your Energize about 20 to 30 minutes before you work out, okay? So this is really important. This is your pre-workout meal, and you're just going to make sure that you try your best to time this, you know, as best you can. Now, you know, I know that a lot of people are going to be working out super early in the morning. This has been a really common question. What if I'm working out at, you know, 5:30 a.m.? Do I have to wake up at 4 o'clock and, you know, eat my pre-workout meal? You know, just do your best with this, honestly. If you are somebody who can work, you know, eat your food and then work out right afterwards, you can do that. Autumn actually did a video on her Facebook like page, and she talked about this. But for anybody who doesn't have, you know, a ton of time before their workout, you are able to sit down and, you know, do a quick meal, you know, right before your workout, if that works for you. Drink your Energize and then go push play, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be that 60 to 90 minutes. However, that doesn't give you free reign for all the containers and just move around and, you know, have things whenever you want, right? You do really need to try and stick to this as best you can. If you want to get the best results with this program, follow it how it's designed, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the response to that. So just do your best. Another thing that you're able to do is you can swap out meal option 1 right down here for your pre-workout meal. So you'll see meal option 1 is, at least for plan C, is green, purple, red, and a teaspoon. That is a really great Shakeology recipe. You can do spinach, frozen fruit, Shakeology, you know, almond milk, or you can do water with peanut butter, whatever you want to do, and make Shakeology and have that right before your workout, okay? You can swap these 2 meals, okay? Meal option 1 and your pre-workout meal. So it's up to you. So if you need something that's like quick and like, you know, if you're like, again, if you wake up really early and you need something quick and easy, you know, you can do your Shakeology for your meal option 1, have that for your pre-workout meal, and, you know, just push play right after, okay? So that's a little bit about the pre-workout meal. Then after your pre-workout, or after you work out, of course, you're going to have your recover along with a fruit. I think all of them have a fruit with the recover. I could be wrong. Make sure that you check your specific eating plan. This is for eating plan C. But you're going to have that as soon as you finish working out, within 30 minutes. Ideally, Autumn said even within 15 minutes of your workout if you can. So you're going to have that right after your workout. You have your recover and a fruit. And then so 1 to 2 hours after your workout is when you're going to have your post-workout meal. Okay? So again, this is really important to make sure that you are having these specific containers, because this is what's going to help you refuel after you get your workout done. Okay? So you're going to have that 1 to 2 hours after your workout. That's going to depend on, which eating plan. Check and see what your containers are. Okay? Then throughout the day, you are able to kind of fit these other meals in however you choose. Okay? So you can do, again, you doesn't have to be in this order. You could have meal option 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, whatever you need to do. But what you can't do is start mixing and matching the containers from the meals. Okay? You need to keep the containers together within each meal option. And if you're somebody who's maybe working out a little bit later in the day, you can move these meal options before your pre-workout meal as well. Does that make sense? So if you're working out later, obviously you need to be making sure that you eat when you wake up. So if that's the case, then you can have any of these meal options before you have your pre-workout meal. Okay? That's why it's important to make sure that you know when you're working out, because basically your whole day is going to be kind of planned around that. Okay? So each meal, though, is grouped and is going to give you specific containers that you're going to have for each meal. And then, what I found really helpful was using, I started really simple, you guys. Like, I started super simple with this, like eating, I think I remember I did just like turkey and, sandwich and, a salad and, chicken and dressing, you know what I mean? Like really, really simple stuff. But I started to expand kind of as I got more comfortable with the containers. I loved to get recipes from Fixate. That's how I found the Fixate breakfast sausage, and that is now my jam. It is my favorite recipe in the entire world. So use the recipes that are on Fixate because they're really great. And you can, depending on, obviously not all of them are going to work because they need to fit in with your specific container counts for your meals, but there are a lot of really great options. And I believe that they're coming out with even more options too that are going to be 80-day obsession friendly. Okay, so let me just check the chat box really quick because I've been seeing it go off up here. So I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Let's see. Hold on, just going through. Let's see. A lot of people talking about waking up really early. Yeah. So yeah, if that's you, you know what I mean, just do your best with eating that pre-workout meal. If you need to swap it out for that Shakeology meal option 1, do that. And if you need to just drink your Shakeology, drink your Energize and push play, that's what you got to do. But just do your best with it, okay? Let's see. Talking about group Zooms. I think that's such a great idea. So we did that too as well in the test group. We had a group Zoom workout every single day at 9:30, and it was really helpful. So if you can hop on the live Zooms, that will be very helpful to keep you accountable. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going through really quick. So Jenny said, adding to combos. I mean, adding to the pre-workouts, not subbing, but adding a purple or orange. So no, you can't really add containers. You're not going to add containers to, or break up containers. So if your pre-workout meal, for example, is green, red, yellow teaspoon, you're not going to add a purple or an orange. Like, you got to stick with how it's laid out. And don't break up different containers. So you don't want to take an orange from here and have it, add it to a different container, a different meal. Does that make sense? You got to keep them within, where they're at in the plan. Okay. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to talk about rest day. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing any important questions. So yeah. So this is for your typical day that you're doing your workout, right? Okay. So you're going to want to make sure you go through and look at your specific meal plan for this. Okay. So here's an example, you guys. These are really helpful. I would go through what I actually did. I think for my very first week was I took the sample, which I think this is the exact same one that we had in the test group. I took it and I just kind of swapped out things that sounded good to me. So I had this exact pre-workout meal. I remember the first week I had the spinach with eggs and oatmeal. I was like, that's easy. Okay, I'll do that. Banana with my Recover, cool. I think I did butternut squash, chicken, pasta, and olive oil. Like I pretty much copied this. If there's certain like veggies that you want to swap in, do that. But if you need to keep it really simple the first few weeks, like take these ones, swap in foods from the list that you like, kind of make it, you know what I mean, how you would like it, and, you know, keep it simple and easy for yourself. Like that's one of my best tips that I can give. And then as you get comfortable, like I said, you can branch out and kind of get more creative with it. But another thing too is, you know, and what I loved about our test group and, you know, what, you know, you guys will all get to from your challenge groups that you're in is sharing different meal ideas. You know what I mean? Because that's really great, because then you can get ideas for future meal plans. So that's what I really love about the challenge group, being around other people, is because then you can kind of get new ideas for your meal plan and you're never bored. Okay, so now let's talk about rest day. So 80-day obsession, yeah, your rest day is going to be on Sundays. Obviously, I know, you know, this happened in the test group, is that, you know, people had things happen and they were, you know, flying or something on certain days. And so, of course, if you need to kind of swap out your rest day, you know, for, you know, different days in the week, you got to do what you got to do. But just make sure that whatever day that you take your rest day, you're following this eating plan. Okay. It's basically going to be the same as your other, you know, every other day, but you're going to see that it doesn't have any of the performance line supplements, because obviously you're not working out. So you don't need to be taking Recover or Energize. And then you'll also see that there's no pre or post workout meal because you're not working out. So what's really great about rest day, you can really just have these meals whenever you want. Just make sure that they're spaced 2 to 3 hours apart. Okay? Does that make sense? So you can have, like, the order for this really doesn't matter. It just make sure that obviously your containers are staying together throughout. Okay? Does that make sense? Pretty simple. So that's your rest day. Now let's talk a bit about refeed day. This is like one of my favorite parts of this program. Hold on, let me drink it real quick. So this is the first program where Autumn has incorporated a refeed day. And this is something that she used to do when she was training for her competitions. And so refeed day is basically going to be there to help you replenish the glycogen stores in your muscles that you're going to be depleting throughout the first 6 weeks of the program, with, you know, what you're eating and with the workouts. Okay. So, basically what this is you're going to have a refeed day before, right, the day before leg day. And it's going to start 6 weeks into the program, and then you're going to have it every other week, starting week 6. Okay. And what it's going to do is you're going to have basically a bump in purples and a bump in yellow containers. Okay. And it's also going to lower other containers. So you're just going to want to make sure and look at what your specific refeed container count looks like, but this is what it is for Plan C. So you're gonna have 6 yellows, 5 purples. Normally you have 3 purples and I think 3 yellows, so that's like doubling the amount of yellows that you're gonna get in a day. And along with that, you guys, there's a specific supplemental yellow list that you need to choose your yellows from that you're gonna have on refeed day. So that's why it has the S right there. It means supplemental yellows. In the test group, we call this the dirty yellows, because they're, you'll see that they're like, they're more like white carbs. You know what I mean? Like normal carbs that we wouldn't normally have. They're higher on the glycemic index, but that's because we're trying to bump up the glycogen stores in your muscles. So that's why. Again, trust Autumn, trust the process. Just know that this is here to help you with getting best results with the program. Autumn always says this is not a cheat day, but it definitely feels a little bit like a cheat day because you are able to have some things that you normally can't have. So mentally, it's kind of nice to have the refeed days, but also know it's not there for you to like go crazy. Okay, just still make sure that you are following the plan. And another thing that you can have that I liked with refeed is that you can have fruit juice. You can't normally have fruit juice as one of your purples or any of your containers. So I liked adding, I got tangerine juice because I was like trying to get really fancy for my refeed day. And so I got tangerine juice and I added that to my orange recover. And it was like this like orange dream heaven. I don't know. It was crazy. But anyways, you'll find, you'll make some really delicious refeed meals that'll help you feel like it's a cheat day. It's great. Let me see if there's any questions in the chat. Yes, that was my cheeseburger day. So, yeah, we had like pretty much all of us in the test group went through and had cheeseburgers. It was so funny. Or like some sort of a burger on refeed day because we could have a regular white hamburger bun. So I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to go out and get a white hamburger bun and have just like a big old burger. It was so good. So hold on really quick. So Katie said, question. So in the 21-day fixed meal plan, they had the first few foods as the best to eat. Is it the same for container foods with this program? Yes. So it top to bottom, like the best foods are going to be at the top, and then it's going to kind of go in order. And then the foods that like, it's not that they're bad foods, but they're not going to be as nutrient dense, I guess, or not as good as of choices, I guess, as you'd say from foods that are higher up on the list. So yeah, it's the same way. Can I do treats like 21-day fix? No, you can't do treats. The only day you can do treats is on refeed day. Okay, so Jenny asked fixate brownies. Yes, you can have fixate brownies on refeed day. You would not have those on a normal day though. Okay, you're not gonna have chocolate. You can't have wine. Like none of that stuff on regular 80-day. Actually, like you shouldn't be drinking at all. No chocolate or wine throughout the whole program, but specifically for the fixate treats and stuff, those are for refeed day specifically. Is there a list of the foods on BOD? It's on the eating plan, so I'm about to scroll through and go through it, Donna, in just a second. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions? I don't think so. Okay. So yeah, so with refeed day, just again, make sure you go through, and obviously it's just like, the other one, the other days where you're going to want to make sure and look at what the container groupings are for everything. So for example, like right here for post-workout meal, you have two supplemental yellows with a red and a green with a teaspoon. So yeah, I think that's when I had my burger for a post-workout meal. So just make sure that you are choosing from the supplemental list for refeed day. And like I said, there's look on the calendar. It says it right here. Check on your 80-day obsession calendar to see when your refeed days are scheduled. It's only going to happen once every 2 weeks starting in week 6 of the program. Okay, so I think you get like 4 or 6 of them throughout the whole program. I can't remember, but just make sure that you're paying attention to when those are and you're planning your meals accordingly for refeed day when you have them. Okay. And then lastly, this is going to be for peak week, your meal plan for peak week. That is the 13th week of the program, the very last week. And this is optional. So you can continue to just do the regular meal plan that you've been doing. Or if you are like really wanting to kind of end with a bang and get the best results and just kind of like get super shredded for your after pictures, then you can do the optional peak week deplete day meal plan. Okay. So just, it depends on what it is that you want to do. But again, the containers are going to change here. You're going to have no purples. Oh, so sad. I would be so sad with no purples. No purples, but it's going to up your veggies and your protein. You're going to have 2 yellows and then, one blue, 1 orange, and 5 teaspoons. This is obviously for meal plan C. So make sure that you're checking what your specific meal plan says. But again, this is really just going to help you. And it kind of explains it right here, right? It's reducing your carbs and increasing your protein to help tap glycogen from your muscles, okay? So again, this is all just kind of just to help you really get the best results through the end. You can decide if you want to do it like that. If it's like a little bit too intense and you don't want to do it that way, you don't have to. But that option is for you there. And then the menu planner, I went through and I would meal plan every single week with these menu planners, you guys. And I really recommend it too. To make sure that you're going through and meal planning every single week, because that is like the name of the game with this program. Like if you're not planning ahead, if you're not meal planning, like you can obviously see you're not going to be able to be successful with time nutrition, right? You have to plan ahead as best you can. And I know that things happen and life happens. But you know what? There were some girls in our test group who they were going through Hurricane Irma. They were moving across country. They were having babies. I mean, actually, no, they weren't having babies. There were no people actually having babies in the group. But there was definitely people moving. There was definitely people in hurricanes. There was definitely people traveling, going to conferences all day. I know one person went to a Tony Robbins event. You guys know Tony Robbins things are like 18 hours long or something crazy like that. So you know what I mean? Like, it's really just up to you and your determination and how bad you really want to stick to the program. If you're the type of person who's like, I want to be able to live my life and be able to do the program too, like, that's cool. That's fine. That is totally your MO, and that's okay. But you know what I mean? At the same time, like, if you really are like, yes, I want to get the best results out of this that I possibly can, you can't let any sort of excuses kind of get in your way. Make sure that you're planning ahead as best you can. And that'll help you be successful with this, okay? So again, also I wanted to point out, these are going to be really helpful. So depending on when you're working out, if you're working out in the morning or middle of the day or at night, they have some sample days for you to look at how you might want to space out the timing for your meals. So if you're going to work out super early in the morning, you can go through and look at the morning workout block. There's a midday workout block, and then an evening workout block. So this, like, again, it might not necessarily match up to what your schedule is specifically, but you can use it as foundation and then go through and kind of put your times in there when you're going to be working out and when your meals are going to be. Okay, does that make sense? And then last, if you're not using Beachbody Performance, you can 100% still follow this program. They have meal plan specific without the performance line, and you can go through. That'll be at the end of the eating plan as well. Really, all it's going to do is make sure that your purple container that you would have with your Recover is included with your post-workout meal. So you're not going to kind of have those separate from each other because you're not going to have Recover. Okay, but go through here. You'll see that there's nutrition plans for if you're not using the performance line. So if that's you, then you can go through that as well. Okay. Let's see. And so I talked a little bit about, here, I'm going to set my screen share really quick. I talked a little bit about the workouts, but the workouts are pretty straightforward, you guys. Like I said, I would recommend just making sure that you're, number one, figuring out when you're working out, but try and stick to the same time every single day, because it will help you kind of get into a groove and get really, consistent with the program. I will say one thing is, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have noticed this with a little obsessed, if you have been using the resistance loops, they can be really frustrating. They can start to roll up, and Autumn does a good job of kind of addressing this throughout the whole program, but don't let the loops get you discouraged. Just know that it's part of it, and they're going to roll up, and just continue to go through and do your best. I think that, even through all the way through the end, the loops were still rolling on me. I don't know if I could ever get them to not roll, but you get used to it and just kind of adjust them and do your best with it, and you'll figure it out. You'll get way quicker with, transitioning and taking them off and on and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that makes sense. So let's see. Let me make sure that I'm going through and answering any questions. Okay, yeah, the list of approved foods is in the BOD and in-program material. So yeah, sorry, I was wrong. It wasn't part of this eating plan, but the approved foods is on BOD. I know that for sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, container food list. Sorry, I didn't open that one up. But yeah, just make sure, like I said, that you're going through and looking at all of the foods that are on this list. And if you're doing refeed days, you are using your yellows that are from the specific supplemental yellow list that they have on here. Okay, let me share my screen with you one more time since I have it open, and I didn't look at that before. So you'll see right here. Let me get my thing on the way. Here's the food list that you can go off of for everything. Gives you tons of different options and choices. So if you're picky, there has to be something from these lists that I know that you can choose from. And then on the refeed day, you've got to make sure that your yellows are coming from this list. So you'll see it says white rice, white pasta, cornflakes, Rice Krispies, things that you normally wouldn't have, but is part of refeed day. So it makes it feel like a little bit of a treat. And then they also have some things like your Shakeology bases. What you're having with your Shakeology, that's going to be really helpful. So you can go through, and then there's also the free foods and foods and things that don't count for your containers. But just wanted to point that out really quick. That is also under program materials in BOD. Sorry, I should have gone through that. So let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing any. If you guys have any other questions, please type in the chat box. Please let me know, or you can unmute yourself, of course. I'm training for a marathon. I run 5 days a week. Should my rest day be the same between running and 8-day session? I run with a group, so I can't move my runs. Should I start a day late to bump rest day to Mondays, or is that not following the program? I was talking about this in the test group because somebody else was training for a marathon, I think, during the test group. Honestly, I mean, as far as moving your rest day, I mean, that doesn't matter because as long as you're getting all of your workouts in within the week, like, that's what matters. It doesn't matter if it's Sunday or Monday, you know what I mean? So I would just make sure that you're planning it around that way. I would try and have your rest day and your, as the same for your running day and 80-day obsession. I would just be careful with the containers because you want to make sure that you're eating enough. If you're going to be running and doing an 80-day obsession workout, that's going to be a lot. So I just want to make sure that you're fueling your body enough for that. So just make sure. I'll go through and look and see if I can find a specific answer to that. Because I remember somebody was training for a marathon, like I said in the test group. But you just want to make sure that you're eating enough because, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of calories that you're burning. Let's see. Are week 1 workouts up to an hour, or does it progress to later? Trying to determine start time. Yeah, they start with going to an hour. It's not like shift shop where it starts slow and then kind of builds up. You're going to an hour right from the beginning. But I will say this, you guys, like I said, for somebody who's never done an hour-long workouts, was really freaked out, I actually found that the workouts were not unbearable at an hour long. The way that she has, like, the reps and everything kind of broken out, it's really doable within the hour time frame, okay? But what I did was I just blocked out an hour for my workouts every single day. So obviously it'll tell you how long each workout is, but I just blocked out an hour every single day. But yes, there will be some hour-long ones in week 1. Let's see. So I'm not using Recover because I'm lactose, so I'm sticking with my Shakeology. Yeah, that's fine. There was one of the cast members in the Weekly Obsession was talking about how he's vegan, and so he can't drink Recover, but he drinks his Shakeology after his workouts for his post-workout meal. Are there 2 separate yellow lists? Yes, I just showed you guys that. There's the supplemental yellows that you're going to have on your refeed day, and then the regular yellows. Is there a meal planner that just has regular days on it, or did you just use the one that also had refeed and deplete days on it? I think you mean like the blank meal planner page. I think that it just has all 3 of them. It says regular day, refeed day, and deplete day. But I think that there might be some other ones that are just blank meal planners on BOD. I could be wrong. I don't know about that. But yeah, I think this one has all 3 all on one page. If I'm answering your question, Chloe. Let's see. Oh, Melissa, thank you. I was going to say, so if you're going to be doing marathon training, she said to use the maintenance containers instead of the weight loss. Thank you for answering that. I knew there was something that you're going to tweak with the containers to make sure that you're getting enough calories in. So thank you for that. Okay, so let's see. Did you jump straight into 80-day obsession, or did you do a little bit obsessed beforehand? They didn't have a little bit obsessed when I was doing the test group. It just started with 80-day obsession, and then a little bit obsessed came after we finished the program, actually. So yeah. You guys have any other questions? I think I went through pretty much everything. Like, is there anything you feel like not confident on? I really just, like I said, I think it just takes, like, sit down, figure out, number 1, when are you going to be working out each day? And then, use one of the blank email templates, one of the blank meal planner templates, and use that as a base if you are somebody who needs something to kind of start from to get your, meal plan going. And just keep it simple for the first week. You know what I mean? Like, make it really easy for yourself. Just swap out some really easy foods that you know that you'll like, and then you can kind of elaborate and kind of get more with that. So let's see. When did I finish the program? Yeah, I didn't get all the way through. So I got through 2 phases, 60 days out of the 80 days, because I found out I was pregnant at the end of, right? It was first day of phase 3 was when I found out. And you should not be pregnant and doing this program. So I had to stop and I wasn't able to finish phase 3. I was really sad. But I think that was actually a reason why I was able to get pregnant so quick, was because I was super healthy from doing 2 full months of 80-day obsession and not drinking at all, drinking tons of water, Shakeology every single day, all that kind of stuff. So yes, and I lost 15 pounds and like 12.75 inches or something like that. So I got really good results just from the 2 that I was able to finish, the 2 phases. Thank you, you guys. You're so nice. Do you guys have any other questions? I think I went through everything that I wanted to talk about with the program. So hydrate is necessary to have, or just energize and recover will be fine. I recommend hydrate. I drink it when I'm working out just because I need it. It's really helpful when you're working out to kind of, just help rehydrate your bodies. It does not count as a container, no, because you're using it. It's a timed supplement, so it's like your body is burning it off like while you're doing your workout, so it doesn't count as anything. No, none of the performance line counts as containers. And they talk about that too in the eating plan. There's a day that says something about the containers. Yes, free food. I recommend hydrate. It's like a healthy Gatorade. It tastes really good. It's nice to have throughout the workout. You don't have to have it, but it's really helpful. Just like anything else. You're so welcome. Is there anything else that, like I said, if you have any questions, you can post like in the T page or in the challenge group or whatever. But hopefully I kind of went through and you feel pretty confident about sitting down and planning out your meals. I really recommend doing it sometime before the weekend, and then you can go shopping over the weekend and then meal prep on Sunday or something. So, but if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. But yeah, and also just use all the tools that are in Beachbody On Demand. Like I said, Fixate Show, watching Weekly Obsession, watching those start tips, like all that stuff is there to just help you feel really confident and understand the ins and outs of this program, so you'll feel good with that. Anything else, you guys? Any other last minute questions? You're all very welcome. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yes, this has been recorded. Anything else? No? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Thank you. I know I'm trying to get better. I need to go drink some more tea. Thank you, guys. Anything? Nope.
Anything else you want to add before I stop the recording?
Nope.
Okay. You guys stay on for a second. We'll do a picture. Okay. I'm going to stop the recording then. Thank you so much, Alexa. This was awesome.
You're very welcome.